I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so we'd like to put an approval for our meeting agenda for this evening.
Make a motion to approve the agendas for them.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Do we have any public comments?
No, ma'am.
All right, we'll go ahead and take a moment to review the minutes from last week before we approve them. We can go ahead and get a motion to approve the minutes from our June 16th, 2016 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the June 16th minutes.
Have a motion.
I'll be glad to second that.
Any discussion?
Minor typo, very tiny, but financial report says report for April.
Oh, I see. I hadn't noticed that.
Oh.
All right, so I have a motion and a second with the correction. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Did you already correct that? All right, we'll go ahead and move on. We have the approval of the CEO report. We'll go ahead and take a few minutes to review it as well.
I can have for the approval of the CEO report, a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the July 2026 CEO report. I second.
Any discussion?
It's interesting there. I knew that we were switching to Liberty Mutual for our property casualty, to our benefit, I believe. The additional detail you provided, it looks like we had no choice but to move on from, is it Gladfelter, I believe? Yeah.
Yes.
Because of what they won't cover.
Yeah.
Is that, is most of the carriers hesitant to cover like pre-K, security staff, et cetera, those things that they said they didn't want to include, or?
Yes, there are, so when we were with lab filters, we were looking at kind of a supplemental to do the early learning
Mhm.
daycare. And there are a lot of, possible risks, I guess, that come with littles, right? Sleeping, eating, all of those things, right? And so a lot of traditional school carriers don't really get into that realm because there's just the application for it is twice as long as it is for the K-12. Just, and they required like 30 pages of documentation. And then when the broker said, oh no, we're just gonna go with Liberty Mutual, man, that was a lot of work for that. But a lot of the school carriers are moving away from a lot of that security armed staff,
Yeah.
those parts.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the things. I've talked to Kyle Pierce a couple times where he's our local representative, where the state of Indiana, authorized armed staff years ago, and then they were going to be paying for training and those things. But if they don't do something to make it a insurance friendly environment, right, from a legislative standpoint, carriers aren't going to do it. So then it defeats the point of their legislation.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have that conversation again with him, where now it's probably time to pursue something
Mhm.
in that case. So
Yeah, that's a little surprising because from what I understand, that's becoming more prominent across the nation is having armed staff.
yeah, it's very
Not just Indiana,
contradictory.
but yeah.
I think in today's environment, if you don't have it, people would look sort of aghast at us for not doing our job, I believe.
Yeah.
Or many would, maybe not everyone.
But thankfully, Liberty Mutual, and the reason we were previously with
Yeah.
Liberty Mutual, but several years ago, their premiums were skyrocketing and
Mhm.
all that, and now they've kind of come back down to earth and they want to pursue new business, and they were happy to have us back. I thought.
So would that even pertain to McBee being an officer of the law as well?
No, that's a separate.
Okay.
That's a separate part because he has police powers, so that's a whole nother line.
Okay. Ryan has not joined us.
Hi, Ryan. And hi, Beth. Can't see you, but I see your name there.
Just good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm just not joining. Thank you.
Hey, Ryan. Okay. So, oh, and I just realized I attached the food service audit in Portable, but I didn't print it. So, sorry.
I was a little surprised. I didn't know that there was civil rights training in doing cafeteria duty.
Yes. So that is
Because we got cited for that, apparently, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we did the wrong one. That is a big proponent of school nutrition, is making sure that it is equitable. And all of our serving lines, we have huge, and Justice for All, civil rights, posters, and basically it's, the emphasis is just providing equitable food and making sure that, kids, no matter what they look like, where they're from, or whatever in your school, they're having equal access to the serving line. There you go. I'm trained. But
Oh, okay.
we will go through the actual food nutrition part, just so that all staff understand those parts, and it's not really, we've never had any issues with that area, but we take federal funds, we do what the feds
Yeah.
say, with a smile on our face.
Now, here's where from years, quite a few years past, but at one time, when we, I think within the first 5 years for those students who were in arrears on student fees, we either threatened to, I think we actually did resort to peanut butter sandwiches for those. Now, if we were trying to do that today, I think we would be in big trouble probably.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how wise that was back then, but
You learn lessons.
yeah.
Yes.
Jill was not our CEO
Thank
then.
you.
This was, I think, like probably
While ago.
15 years ago, but Angie probably remembers some of those discussions.
But it wasn't just us, that was a nationwide.
Yeah. it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Now,
Let's shame the kids because the parents won't pay for their lunch.
now if you guys can't afford it, they just let them roll with debt.
of course, in some cases, thinking what they served when I was in elementary school, the peanut butter might have been preferable to those stewed breaded tomatoes.
Yours had bread on them?
Oh, yeah, it was, I don't even think the teachers would touch those. Even my own mother
We did
said
that
she
crap in
didn't
our
like
milk
it.
cartons while we're not drinking our milk.
So anyway, well, we got off the subject there, but anyhow.
I wanted to ask a question about the CEO report. So a lot of the building improvements and stuff,
Mhm.
I knew that you mentioned that you had some Teamworks kids helping. And I know I think Facebook said they helped build the float.
Mhm.
So have they helped out with some of this painting and different things that's
Yes.
going on?
Yes, ma'am. They are our painting crew. I think they're maybe a little bit over some of the painting at this point. But Thursday, and I'm sure they're not watching our board meeting, but if not, spoiler alert, they get to help paint the elementary to touch up some of the blue hallway paint that keeps getting scuffed off, all that. But yeah, they've been helping prep and do the locker rooms, and they did build the structure of the cake. It was out of pallets, and that thing was extremely well built, hard to destroy and tear down as well. So that was fun. But yeah, they've done some yard work around here as well. They've been really great with helping with the launch pad, all the supplies, getting it off trucks, getting it checked in. So they're
So that's
surviving it.
a great, what do you wanna call it, community partner and outreach thing that could also be added, is that partnership with Teamworks, and
Yeah.
you're hoping and planning to use that in the future too.
Yeah, I am very hopeful that we'll get to be a job site again next year. They been one of the biggest things that they have helped us out with is moving furniture in and out of classrooms. So that we can wax and do those parts. So extremely thankful for that. I will say my husband's back and my back are also thankful for that as well. So yeah, Teenworks it's been a great blessing for us this summer. So I've been very impressed with them. Next week is their last week with us, unfortunately, but we'll get them again.
So summer's getting closer to be over.
I know,
Yeah.
we just don't math on
Just
any of
started.
it.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the two positions that we have pending are the fill-ins for the ones for the resignations we received.
Yes, yep. Yeah, and those are in the, they've been offered, just pending acceptance. I think one is definitely going to be a yes, and I think one's a maybe right now. So,
Are we anticipating any additional folks leaving?
not at this time, but
You
things
never know,
happen,
things do happen, yeah.
yeah. So I don't see a lot of the instructional staff. A lot of them are already setting up their classrooms and all that, because they don't all understand the concept of going away for the summer either. But it's fine. We all just wave at each other. But, you know, we'll roll with it.
Looks like everything's rolling with the launch pad.
Yes, yes, it is. And very excited for that. Getting the CCDF approval is a huge relief, right? Because
Mhm,
gotta figure out how to fund it after the grant
mhm.
expires. And it's just nice to be getting through those parts. Have learned that, so we're gonna pursue the Pass for Quality certifications as well, where at level 1 to 4, we want to be a level 4. And we are far ahead of the game on that. A lot of our program, pretty much everything we've done, we've gone through, read all the state regulations, taken their checklist, taken their best practices, and then build our program off of that. And then added the fun parts. And it's pretty impressive. So
Where will is the playground going here or is that at 22nd Street?
both,
Both.
Yeah.
Where will the playground be here?
right there.
Right there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's a
Sort
good
of an
spot for it.
or wasted area really out there, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah, and we do have kids go out there at lunch sometimes. But what we've done over the last year or so is we've installed a fence here so they can't go down into the windows. We did toss a fence around the AC unit so nobody can use their little fingers. And this sidewalk will make an amazing bike area and whatnot. So we'll have a small playground. It'll be a little more nature based versus looking like maybe what Jackson Park's playground looks like. And then there will be a little plastic shed out there where they can store their toys and bikes, and there'll be water tables and mud kitchens and
How cute.
fun things. Yes, sets off a lot of my
Okay,
texture
So
issues,
this
but
is
fun.
for the launch pad, correct? And not for the older students, teachers?
It is for the launch pad, but they may need active adult participation to model what they need to do.
So at the first meeting after school starts, I want to see all the fun little mud creatures you guys make.
Yes,
okay?
we'll take the board out to make mud creatures. At 22nd Street, they'll have more of an advanced playground. And then we'll also be updating the 22nd Street playground, adding some swings and some other things to it, taking care of that awful rubber mulch challenge that we face. And also making sure that some of the play resources and everything are handicap accessible. So we'll have like a handicap swing and
Nice.
more of those features. So
Now, the giant garden that was at 25th Street, is that still active or no? And
No.
are we gonna turn that back into more of yard space and,
it will be more outside mud kitchens and playgrounds.
Okay. okay.
Yes.
Now, do we intend to be using any part of the 25th Street building next year?
Not right now,
Not right now.
No.
Okay, but in the future, perhaps.
perhaps. The hope is
Enrollment
yes.
picks up. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. It's an adventure.
Well, let's see, that building, which is where we started, will be paid off in 2029. So
Yes.
it will be the proud owners in full, I guess.
Even better.
We'll be the proud paid in full owners of this one in August.
Love it. Love it.
So we paid off 2 loans on June 30th, the bleachers and one of the computer refresh. So it's nice seeing all that stuff start peeling off.
That is kind of one of those.
Yes, yes. Oh, and Beth did make a part, so, although IDOE didn't notify us, they did award our appeal for the one student that we were fighting about. And they actually sent us a surprise payment at the end of June, so.
So that bumps us up from 713 to 714, then, which was the average figure we used for financial calculations. Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
so there you go. That one, now you've been updated on that too.
Hmm.
All right, any other discussions? Okay, so I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Ryan, I'm going to turn it over to you unless you want me to keep it.
If you can keep for a few more minutes and I'll take it over.
Okay. So we have the financial report is up next.
Okay, let's see. I believe everybody has a copy of my horizontally extended notes here. I have the lines numbered here to help us work our way through the discussion. Lines 2 through 8 are the key metrics we're most interested in. The key one being, of course, our cash net income or cash loss, and then the ending cash balance. So what I have done, our latest actual figures then, using 11 months year to date and then estimating what June will be. In the first column there, 531 is what we think everything will look like on June 30th, which is our fiscal year and school year ending. And then I have retained where we were at our last board meeting, as well as the one in March. And then the fourth column there where it says change, you can see where we were back using March 31st actuals and where we are today. You can see, well, not a significant amount of changes. And then, of course, in the next column is our amended budget. Now, our amended budget, we did adopt that, I think, quite late in this fiscal year. So there really shouldn't be too much variance between where we finish up, but there is some. Now, and then, of course, I have added what is now our official 26-27 budget, and it took us a while to develop that, but we did finally achieve a break-even budget. We are calling for a modest 5,500, hopefully cash net income. We're always hoping to do better than that for sure, but we really want to avoid doing any worse than that. And then in the final columns over there, I compare where we think we're going to be for this year with where we're going to be for next year. So, and then there's even more detail in the financial review that I emailed out over the weekend to everyone. One new line that I did add is line number 4. Computer loans and draws. The draws are from our line of credit or LOC. This year, the intent was to use those draws to cover our pre-K expenses until we got reimbursements coming in from the CSP grant. And with most grants, or maybe all grants, there's usually a little bit of a time delay between when we have to spend the money and then when we get the reimbursements. So that is important because on line 5, I cite total income as stated, which includes the loans and the LOC drawdowns, even if some of those have been paid back already, because those are very short-term loans. The reason I included that is when you're comparing, let's say, total income with where we were a month or 2 or 3 months ago, those loans and draws increase the total income on a cash basis. And that can sometimes skew, well, that can give you the wrong impression. It's like, oh my gosh, total income has grown 10% from where we were 3 months ago. But one has to determine, is most of that coming from additional loans or draws, in which case it doesn't mean that Jill's doing, or her staff's doing a heck of a job on economic growth here. So I try to, I guess, educate us here as to how we need to properly interpret these so we don't get the impression that we're either doing a lot better than we are or a lot worse than we are. And you can see that the cash net income now is improving, but it's still negative. Call it negative $302,000. And then our ending cash balance, so the good news is it has improved. Because you can see where we were at the last board meeting, we were just about down to zero. But we're thinking now that we could have about 339,000, which by our historical standards is still pretty low. But it's certainly better than where we have been on a few past occasions. And then 9 and 10 and 11, I included those because bookkeeping plus, there's Beth in person now, I see her. Beth did include those on our big cash flow spreadsheet. This is saying that there was $134,000 from the CSP pre-K grant that we earned this school year. However, we will not actually receive that until sometime in probably July and August, let's hope. So if you add that to what we think the ending cash balance is going to be, that paints a little brighter picture. And then, of course, the wild card to offset that or pop the bubble was what I was trying to say, excuse me. The cash adjustment, then also we have an LOC payoff that we probably, I think you've decided we're going to pay that after 6:30. But anyhow, we do have to repay that. And since we increased that by 100,000 from where we were last board meeting to this board meeting, that ups the number that we have to repay to 376,000. So then you can see then line 11, the adjusted cash balance is 96,000. So again, that's just, I guess, trying to make things look a little worse or a little better or whatever than they maybe really will be for the end of the year.
Yeah, 'cause Jill, I mean, she was planning on paying 100,000 back, but since we didn't get the CSP, she wasn't able to pay it back at the end of June, which is why we didn't. So we had that in there.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make note of that. And then I also noted on the controller report
Mhm.
that I took out the vocational expenses because we didn't pay that, which was
Right.
44,000. We'll continue to accrue that
Yes.
next year plus the new amount.
Mhm.
And then the same way with that music lab, we took that 30,000 out because we're not gonna spend that this year, but we still will have that
Oh,
next
okay,
year.
the music, okay.
But on the flip side, I mean, that's the problem is there's so many things, we do these projections for our budget, but then there's the same thing, we've got federal reimbursement that we still have to come in, which is about another $40,000 that we still have coming in that we won't probably get until next month as well. So, or this month, I guess now we're in July. But so, I mean, there's always that we have between the years.
Yes.
We project it because we're trying to match income and expenses when we're doing the cash flow so it doesn't skew it. But then at the end of the year, when you don't pay it out, then you just don't pay it out.
Yeah.
So I just want to note that there's several variables that causes that to be a little bit different than what we sort of project when we're doing that budget. And that's the reason why. And when we do the first month, obviously even next month when we do June's, I'll go through some of those. And then again, I'll reiterate it again when we do it in July on some of the things that carried forward.
Okay, yes, even though we, I guess, it's a big event for the end of our year, but actually everything just keeps running.
Right,
So,
and that's
yeah.
the problem, is like.
And it's
because
always a
with the-
problem, yeah.
With the reimbursement, I mean, to them, it depends on when we file it, whether they're gonna file the money before the 1st or before the 15th. They just keep on doing that. Now, again, like Title I, we have to file, when it gets all said and done, you'll file final reports. And then sometimes it takes a few months to get things going. The same way with the lunch, you have final reports and then you get caught up. So I mean, that's just part of, it's the same thing every year, but that's just part of it.
Now, we don't have any, we're not going to carry over any Title I, I think was that your intent, where
The goal was not to, but we will.
we will?
We will have some, yeah.
Mhm.
And part of that's just the timing of one grant ending and when we could do the next grant.
Mhm.
This coming school year, we'll be able to start requesting, Title I earlier.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, then let's try to get through this here. 12 through 15, these are some other metrics that we have an interest in following. 13, our sub-expense, it looks like we're going to end the year at 149,000. So that was over even our amended budget and a little bit more than the last 2 years. We're still holding to the 65,562 in next year's budget. There's always hope that we have no pregnancies nor long-term subs that are needed. So anyhow, and then of course, net health insurance premiums. I've got 3 years listed there. We're really holding the line pretty well on that. Of course, probably 50 to 55%, only 50 to 55% of our staff is actually in our APA plans, I believe is still accurate.
Yeah, it's probably about 60%
60,
now.
oh, a little higher then, okay. And I think last meeting I did note in the budget, I wondered why we only had a 1% increase, but then the new term is January to December, so we're only, if the rates go up, we only get hit a half a year on the budget. The problem, of course, is going to be our debt service coverage ratio. And right now that is standing at a negative 0.78 times. And the bank requires 1.25 times. And we've had problems with that because our key metric is our enrollment. And of course, when we have sudden downward swings in enrollment, that plays havoc with our cash metrics. So with 11 months year to date, it wasn't hard to figure out what the 12th month probably would be. I'm thinking that the final number is going to be 0.59 times. So
Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
granted, it is gonna be lower than what they like, but I will say the one thing that's the advantage is that because we're paying off a lot of the debt
Mhm.
and we still have a lot of assets, that will be in our favor.
Oh, yes.
And I know Jill's in constant contact and has had meetings with them,
So we're
so
meeting with
that will
Garrett
work in our
tomorrow.
favor.
Yeah, unless he conks out on us
No,
again.
he confirmed
Oh,
it.
good, good. Let's
so I
see.
just want to make that note as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and let's see, 16 through 18 is just a quick look at the month of May. May actually turned out better than it had been budgeted. We added 147,000 to cash. We thought we would have a slight cash loss. And you can see where ending cash was there on 5/31. I do include every month what the accrual net income for the month is. You can see that was $115,000 loss. And then June's numbers look a little bit better. It was last board meeting 281,000 loss, and we think that could be 195 loss. And then just some odds and ends. Basically, why was May better? Well, total income, as we've talked about, total income for projected year end and for the month of May, let's say both benefited heavily from the additional LOC draws. So otherwise, year end total income was actually down about 65,000. And then in the month of May, it was determined that it doesn't look like we're going to have any E-rate income, Indiana secure safety income, Indiana literacy, which is only about 4,000 for this year. And our Title III, we have been thinking all year that'd be about 10,492, and that's down to 1,500. And then, as you just mentioned, I had noted here that projected year-end expense had come down quite a bit, but that can be deceiving, as she just pointed out, because even though we had at one point, we had the $44,000 vocational instructional services in the budget. We hadn't paid it yet. So actually, that's where accrual accounting is a benefit to cash basis because it's been earned. So that actually accounted for some of that big reduction in cost. So again, a lot of the secret in interpreting the numbers here is just trying to figure out what the true economic reality is and what is not just slightly skewed by all of the timing differences and all of that. So hopefully we're learning a lot on how to read that. And then number 20, we of course have several significant grant applications pending. Let's hope we may get all of those approved, but we may have to wait for a few months to find out.
Yes.
And I think that's all I have. Beth, feel free to jump in with anything
Yeah,
that,
the only thing when you were talking about the safety grant, we, got a reimbursement, so we should be getting that in July.
oh,
And
okay.
then Jill's been working on the E-rate, and
Mhm.
by we may not get the actual like check from them, we may be getting a credit on our telephone, which I think she meant it, when we did the budget was maybe about 17,000.
Mhm.
So we have some offsets that's gonna be coming in, but again, I took it off because we're not gonna be receiving anything this year.
Yeah.
To try to get us a better picture of how the cash was gonna be at the end of the year.
Mhm.
So just so you know on those, like I said, there's just so many moving parts,
Yeah,
but I just wanted to point some of those out as
a
well.
lot of details for sure.
Mhm.
Well, that's all I have. But if anybody has any other questions or topics, feel free to jump right in.
All right, any other further discussion? All right, if not, thank you, Dave, as always, for your reporting. Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented this evening in the monthly May financials for May?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for that, Dave. Thank you, Beth, as always, and bookkeeping pleasure. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Bye, Beth.
Aye. Thank you
Bye-bye.
too. All right, next thing on the agenda is under new business is our 2026 and 2027 board meeting calendar. Jill?
Yes. Is it in your packets? Okay.
Yep.
It is. Okay. So those are the current proposed dates on our calendar. Like for the board to review and make sure that those dates kind of still work for everybody. I think we have avoided elections, major holidays.
And so the 8th, that's the day after Memorial or Labor Day, right?
Yes, yeah, the day after Labor Day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And I think 10, there's 10 here. 10 is that our minimum Ball State requirement?
It's not our minimum, so Ball State, I think, requires 6 as a bare minimum.
Oh.
We've always done 10.
Mhm.
And I'm
And
not
an
sure.
occasional special session sometimes during the summer.
Yeah, yeah, and we used to not do a July meeting and a December meeting, but shifting because of the financials have now shifted us into not doing August and January.
We ready to make a motion? Everything looks okay to me. I'll be glad to make a motion that we approve the board meeting calendar for the 2026-27 fiscal year as submitted to us by Jill, noting that all meetings will be held on a Tuesday at our usual time.
I'll second.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Thank you. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That is approved. Thank you for that and the calendar for next year, 2026, 2027.
Okay, I will make sure I get that sent out.
Thank you. All right, is there any other discussion this evening? All right, if not, can I get a motion to adjourn our meeting this evening?
I'll make
I know.
a motion that we adjourn.
I'll say.
All right, any further discussion?
Gosh, if I hadn't talked this long, we could have got out even sooner.
If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you for everyone who attending this evening. Looks like we have executive session that will start here in 5 minutes. We'll call the meeting to adjourn at 6:45 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see everyone at our next meeting. If we can come back in 5 minutes, we'll go ahead and get started with our executive